Sale professional. First sale. A sale is the pinnacle activity involved in selling products or services in return for money or other compensation. It is an act of completion of a commercial activity. A sale is completed by the seller or the owner of the goods. It starts with consent, or agreement, to an acquisition or appropriation or request, followed by the passing of title, property or ownership in the item and the application and due settlement of a price, the dues of or any claim upon the item. The purchaser, though a party to the sale, does not execute the sale, only the seller does that. To be precise, the sale completes prior to the payment and gives rise to the obligation of payment. If the seller completes the first two above stages, consent and passing ownership, of the sale prior to settlement of the price, the sale is still valid and gives rise to an obligation to pay. Second, sales agents. Now, agents in the sales process can be defined as representing either side of the sales process. For example, first, sales broker or seller agency or seller agent, and this is a traditional role where the salesman represents a person or company on the selling end of the deal. Second, buyer's broker or buyer brokerage. This is where the salesman represents the consumer making the purchase. This is most often applied in large transactions. Third, disclosed dual agent. This is where the salesman represents both parties in the sale and acts as a mediator for the transaction. The role of the salesman here is to oversee that both parties receive an honest and fair deal, and is responsible to both. In addition to sale, transaction broker, this is where the salesperson doesn't represent either party, but handles the transaction only. This is where the seller owes no responsibility to either party getting a fair or honest deal, just that all of the papers are handled properly. Besides, sales outsourcing. This is direct branded representation, where the sales reps are recruited, hired, and managed by an external entity but hold quotas, represent themselves as the brand of the client, and report all activities, through their own sales management channels, back to the client. It is akin to a virtual extension of a sales force. Meanwhile, sales managers. It is the goal of a qualified and talented sales manager to implement various sales strategies and management techniques in order to facilitate improved profits and increased sales volume. They are also responsible for coordinating the sales and marketing department as well as oversight concerning the fair and honest execution of the sales process by his agents. Finally, salesman. The primary function of professional sales is to generate and close leads, educate prospects, fill needs and satisfy wants of consumers appropriately, and therefore turn prospective customers into actual ones. The successful questioning to understand a customer's goal and requirements relevant to the product. The further creation of a valuable solution by communicating the necessary information that encourages a buyer to achieve their goal at an economic cost is the responsibility of the salesperson or the sales engine, for example internet, vending machine, etc. A good salesman should never missell or over-evaluate the customer's requirements.